All right, so you're getting ready for a security alarm technician interview. That's awesome.
Yeah,
This field is really taking off right now.
absolutely.
The Bureau of Labor Statistics is projecting that it's going to grow much faster than average.
Yeah, much faster than average.
We've got your RoleCatcher resources right here with us.
Yes.
Career guides, interview tips, and even intel on how AI can help you kind of fine-tune those answers.
Mm-hmm.
So we are going to dive deep today, way past just those surface-level questions like, tell me about yourself, to really uncover what those interviewers are looking for.
Exactly. It's about really going deeper than that and showing them that you understand the field, that you have the skills to succeed, and that you're ready to tackle the challenges that come with the job. And that's where RoleCatcher can be really valuable. It can help you target your responses to each specific employer.
So it's more than just installing alarms, right?
Yeah,
It's about people's safety and protecting their property.
right.
So that sense of purpose really needs to come through in the interview.
Absolutely. You're not just putting up equipment, you're giving people peace of mind, and that's something you can convey right from the start.
Mm-hmm.
Interviewers want to see that you understand the weight of this role.
And this isn't a dead-end job either.
No, not at all.
RoleCatcher's Guide actually shows that this career has a lot of potential.
Yeah,
You could move up into management, specialize in some of the more high-tech stuff like smart homes, even start your own business someday.
absolutely.
Yeah.
And showing that ambition, that desire to grow, that's a smart move in any interview. It shows them that you're in it for the long haul
Right.
and not just a quick paycheck.
Okay, let's jump into some of these interview questions.
Okay.
This is one that RoleCatcher highlights. Describe your experience installing security alarms.
Right.
Seems pretty basic,
It does.
but there's definitely a right way and a wrong way to answer this one.
Definitely. They're not just looking for, I've done it. They want specifics. So talk about your certifications, the types of systems you've worked with, maybe even a challenging install that you aced. And remember the STAR method.
Yep.
Situation, task, action, result. That's a great way to structure your answer to make it clear and memorable.
Okay, so let's say they follow up with this. What's the most complex system you've installed?
Ooh, okay. Well, that's your chance to really showcase your expertise. So briefly describe the system, maybe focus on what made it challenging and how you overcame those challenges. Did you have to integrate different technologies, troubleshoot a tricky wiring issue? Those are the details that make you stand out.
Okay, question number 2 on RoleCatcher's list. How do you troubleshoot security alarm systems? That feels like it's really getting at your problem-solving skills.
Absolutely. And you want to walk them through your process. So checking the wiring, testing sensors, using diagnostic software, all of those are important things to mention. And if you use any specialized tools, mention those too. It shows that you're serious about the craft.
I was going to say, what if they follow up with, what's your go-to resource for those really tricky troubleshooting situations?
I love that question because it could be a specific manual, a website, a mentor even, showing that you're resourceful and dedicated to finding solutions. That really impresses interviewers.
Okay, next up, describe your experience with CCTV systems.
Okay.
Seems like CCTV is pretty much a standard part of security these days.
You're right. It often comes with the territory. So talk about your experience with installing different types of cameras, integrating them with other systems. This is also a good chance to bring up data privacy and show that you're responsible and understand the ethical considerations.
Which leads us right into a follow-up question, like how do you ensure footage is secure and ethically used?
Exactly. So here's where you demonstrate your knowledge of data security protocols, privacy laws, and your commitment to doing things the right way. Building trust is important, and showing that you take data privacy seriously is a key part of that.
Now, this is a good time to mention RoleCatcher again.
Great.
Their AI is really cool because it dissects these job descriptions to figure out exactly what skills the employer's looking for.
Oh, yeah. It's like having a secret decoder ring for the interview process.
Right.
You can use that information to fine-tune your responses, highlight specific experiences, and make sure your resume is hitting all the right keywords.
They even have this feature where employers can find you based on your skills.
Mm-hmm.
It's like a matchmaking service for your career.
Exactly. And you can get noticed by employers who are actively searching for someone with your expertise. So by creating a detailed profile, highlighting your unique skills, you're giving yourself a huge advantage.
Okay, back to the questions. How do you stay up to date with the latest security alarm technologies? Tech in this field moves so fast.
It does. It really does. So you need to show them that you're committed to continuous learning. Mention trade publications, conferences, online courses, anything that shows you're staying sharp and on top of things.
Bonus points if you can mention a specific new technology that you're excited about.
Definitely. Maybe it's a new type of sensor, a wireless integration platform, or a trend in smart home security. Showing that you're passionate about innovation is always a plus.
And I bet a common follow-up to that is, how would you integrate that new technology into a security system?
That's a great opportunity to connect the dots between your knowledge of the new tech and how you'd apply it in a real-world scenario. Explain how you'd assess if it's a good fit for a particular system, how you'd install and configure it, and what benefits it would bring for the client. Painting that clear picture can be really impactful.
Okay, let's shift gears a bit and talk about behavioral questions.
All right.
Those, tell me about a time when questions,
Yep.
really, they're trying to gauge how you handle pressure, difficult clients, teamwork, all of that good stuff.
And soft skills are just as crucial as technical abilities in this field. Being reliable, a good communicator, adaptable, those are all essential qualities. You can have all the technical knowledge in the world, but if you can't work effectively with people, it's not going to get you very far.
And RoleCatcher really emphasizes specifics when answering these types of questions.
Yeah.
So using that STAR method again to tell a compelling story.
Right. Don't just say, I'm a good communicator. Give them a real example. I had a client who was really frustrated because they didn't understand how to use their new system. So I sat down with them and walked them through each feature step by step, using clear language that they could understand. I even created a custom quick reference guide for them. They were so relieved to finally feel comfortable with their system.
Yeah.
Something like that.
I like that.
Yeah.
So question 5, describe a time you had to troubleshoot a complex issue. What are they really looking for with a question like that?
They're looking to see your analytical skills, how persistent you are. What steps did you take? What resources did you use? Did you keep the client in the loop during the whole process? Showing how you handle those challenges is a big deal for any technician.
And then, of course, the follow-up would be something like, what did you learn from that experience?
Yeah, showing that you can reflect and grow from challenges is key. Did you come up with a new troubleshooting technique? Realize the importance of clear client communication. Those are the kinds of insights interviewers want to hear.
Okay. RoleCatcher then highlights this whole group of questions that are all about professionalism and ethics,
Yeah.
dealing with those difficult clients, working under pressure, ensuring data security.
These are all about showing that you can stay calm, put the client's needs first, and protect sensitive information. Interviewers are listening for red flags here, but be honest and frame your answers in a positive light, showing how you've learned from past experiences.
They even mention that their platform has tons of practice questions for these scenarios.
Mm-hmm.
So you can really rehearse your answers and feel prepared going in.
Exactly. Preparation builds confidence, and that's going to come through in the interview.
Okay. RoleCatcher also breaks down the career path for a security alarm technician,
Right.
from entry level all the way up to senior tech.
Yes.
They even have these example profiles for each stage, which I thought was really interesting.
It's like a roadmap for your career progression, and you can see what skills and experience are expected at each level. So it's really helpful for tailoring your answers to the specific role you're applying for.
So knowing where you fit in on that career path is essential.
Absolutely.
Okay, we've covered a lot of ground here, but we've got more to explore. Let's take a quick break, and we'll be right back to dive into even more interview prep strategies.
Sounds good.
Okay, we are back and ready to dig into some more of these interview questions.
Let's do it. The more prepared you are, the smoother the whole interview process is going to feel.
So, RoleCatcher brings up this one about working with those tough clients.
Ah,
They ask, can you describe a time you had to work with a difficult client?
the classic difficult client question. This is where you really get to show off your conflict resolution skills, your communication skills.
Oh, yeah.
Interviewers want to see how you handle those tricky interpersonal situations, which, let's be real, are going to come up in this job.
Oh, yeah, for sure. Not every client is going to be a breeze.
Right. You might have someone who's really demanding or indecisive, or maybe they're just having a bad day.
Yeah?
So when you answer this, pick a situation that shows you can stay professional, keep your cool, listen to their concerns, and try to find a solution that works for everyone.
RoleCatcher gave this great example of a technician who had a client who kept changing their mind about where they wanted the sensors.
Oh, yeah, I remember that one.
So the technician had to be patient, explain the security implications, offer different options, and eventually find a compromise.
That's perfect. It shows adaptability, problem solving, and those communication skills, which are super important for a security alarm technician.
For sure. What about the follow-up? What did you learn from that experience?
That's where you get to show that you're self-aware and that you're committed to always getting better. Did you learn to set clear expectations up front, Maybe develop a new way of handling objections. Whatever it is, make sure it shows that you took something valuable away from that tough situation.
Makes sense. Okay, next question. RoleCatcher highlights. Describe a time when you had to work under pressure to complete a project.
Time pressure. It's a fact of life in a lot of jobs, especially in security, where you often need to respond quickly. Interviewers want to know that you can stay focused, get things done, even when things get a little crazy.
Yeah. I imagine a scenario like a tight deadline for a big installation.
Right.
Maybe for a new business opening or a high-profile client.
Exactly. So walk them through how you handled it, how you managed your time-delegated tasks if you needed to, kept everyone informed. Did you have to pull some late nights, work weekends, come up with creative solutions? Those are the things they'll want to hear.
What if they ask, how did you handle the stress of that situation?
This is your chance to show that you're resilient, that you can handle pressure. Did you use any stress management techniques like taking breaks, deep breathing? Did you lean on your support system? Maybe you just thrive under pressure and used it as motivation.
Okay, let's move on to this question about data security. How do you ensure the security and privacy of client information during installations?
This is huge, especially with security systems becoming so interconnected. Data is everywhere. Technicians have to be really careful about how they handle sensitive information.
Yeah, it's not just about physical security anymore.
Right.
It's about protecting those passwords, access codes, and even surveillance footage.
Absolutely.
Okay.
So when you answer this question, get specific about the steps you take to safeguard client data. Do you use encrypted communication? Are you careful about how you handle physical documents?
What about those passwords and access codes?
Oh, yeah, good point. Explain how you make sure those are stored securely, both digitally and if you have to use a physical copy. How do you handle that? Do you use a password manager? Are there strict protocols you follow? The key is showing that you get it, that you understand how important data security is, and that you take proactive steps to protect that information.
Before we move on, let's just quickly mention RoleCatcher's AI features again.
Oh, yeah, it's so helpful.
Their platform is amazing for fine-tuning your answers to these questions,
Absolutely.
making sure you're hitting all the right notes.
Their AI analyzes the job description and then tells you what skills and experience you should really be highlighting in your answers. It's like having a personal interview coach in your pocket.
And they have this massive database of interview questions.
I know, it's so useful.
So you can practice tons of different scenarios and feel totally prepared going in.
That's right. And practice really does build confidence, which is key to nailing that interview.
Okay, ready for a few more of those broader behavioral questions?
Yeah, let's do it.
All right, so we've talked about a lot of those specific interview questions, but let's kind of zoom out a little bit here.
Okay.
RoleCatcher's Guide talks about the different stages of a security alarm technician's career.
Right.
How can understanding those different stages actually help you in the interview?
Well, knowing where you fit on that career ladder is really important for tailoring your answers. Are you entry level, aiming for technician? Or are you thinking long term, maybe even a senior role someday? Each stage has different expectations, and you want to make sure your answers align with where you are now and where you want to go.
So if you're just starting out, you probably focus on your eagerness to learn, right?
Exactly.
Your basic understanding of electrical systems, things like that.
Highlight any experience you have, even if it's not directly related to security systems. Maybe you tinkered with electronics as a kid, helped out with some home renovations. You're a natural troubleshooter.
Yeah. Just show them that you're a fast learner and you're ready to dive in.
Absolutely. Enthusiasm goes a long way.
What if you're going for a more experienced role, though?
Okay.
Like a technician or even a senior technician?
Then you really want to highlight your leadership skills, any project management experience you have, and your deep knowledge of all those different systems. Talk about complex installations that you've led, challenging troubleshooting situations that you've solved. Maybe you've even mentored some junior technicians. Those are the things that demonstrate you're ready for more responsibility.
And I noticed that RoleCatcher actually provides example profiles for each of those career stages.
Oh, they do.
Which I thought was really helpful.
Yes, very helpful.
You can see what skills and experience they typically expect at each level.
It's like a roadmap for your career. You can use it to identify your strengths and see where you might need to grow. It also helps you set realistic expectations for your job search and make sure you're going after the right opportunities.
Let's go back to RoleCatcher's AI one last time.
Okay.
How can their platform help with those behavioral questions that interviewers love to throw at you?
Their AI is really smart. It looks at the job description and figures out what soft skills are most important for that role. So it could be communication, teamwork, problem-solving adaptability, it all depends on the specific job.
And then it helps you craft answers that highlight those exact skills.
Exactly. It
Yeah.
suggests relevant examples from your past experiences. So you're not just saying, I'm a good communicator. You're backing it up with a real story that shows how you used that skill in a specific situation.
So take some of the guesswork out of that interview prep.
Yeah. You can focus on showcasing the skills the employer really cares about, which gives you a huge advantage.
All right, we've reached the end of our deep dive here.
Time flies.
What's the big takeaway for our listeners today?
You're armed with all these insights into those common interview questions, and you've got an amazing tool like RoleCatcher to help you get ready, so you've got this.
Remember, this is just the start. Keep practicing those answers. Visualize yourself nailing that interview. And the security industry is always changing new technologies, new regulations, new challenges. It keeps things interesting.
Absolutely. The key is to embrace that change and never stop learning. Keep seeking out those certifications. Explore those specialized areas like smart home security, cybersecurity, and just keep growing.
Yeah, here's a final thought for you. How will you stay ahead of the curve and build a successful and fulfilling career in this awesome field?
We're excited to see what you do. Best of luck out there.